we got a time warp.
Whoa!
Whoa,
Hey.
we got a time warp.
Good morning. Whoa!
Whoa,
Hey.
we got a time warp.
Good morning.
Can you hear that?
Whoa, we got a time warp.
Can you hear that?
My phone.
Can you hear that?
My phone.
Can you hear that?
My phone. Did you minimize me?
No, you're good. You're good. I just making sure we're good all over the place here. What a way to start the show in a vacuous tunnel, a black hole.
An oblivion of professionalism.
Welcome to both mics, everybody.
Hey, a show about nothing and everything. That's Mike Sofka.
And that's Mike Taylor. And together, we are both mics.
The both mics. Yeah, show number 26.
26. That is
26.
correct. 26.
Of both mics heard everywhere podcasts are heard. iHeartRadio, YouTube, Anchor.fm, CastBox, Podbean, MyFace, Facebook.
Boy, you've got the Mr. Radio announcer thing going on. Hey, everybody, let me tell you.
Hey, we're doing some crazy 90s bits today. Anybody
I want to tell you about the traffic jam that they have out on I-4.
Yeah, hey, we're going to be rolling in some mouse traps later and painting some boobies green. Come on down.
I got bad news. It's the beginning of the end, Mike.
It's the beginning of the end?
Yes.
What happened?
Canada is moving to outlaw burning wood.
I hate it when my wood burns.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this is something.
I put cream on it, lotion, all kinds of stuff.
We've been doing this since the invention of fire. Since fire started.
Oh, wood, like timber.
Yes,
timber!
yes.
I thought you were talking about different.
Yeah, they're gonna set.
Is that what it's called?
They're gonna set strict new standards in Canada to aim winter smogs caused by wood burning that have plagued cities such as Montreal. This is according to theguardian.com. This October, the city of Montreal will draw a line under a 20-year air pollution problem that started with the 1998 ice storm, considered one of the worst disasters in Canadian history. Around 35 people died and 1,000 were injured. So because they had a bad ice storm 20 years ago, you can't burn wood in your wood-burning stove in Canada, in the Arctic.
Interesting. You ever been to Montreal?
No.
Was there with the family when I was a child. And
they speak French there, right?
What's that?
They speak French there, right?
Yes.
They can keep it.
And we were looking for the Holiday Inn, and my dad, in his infinite wisdom, before the Google and the GPS, pulls over to ask somebody, how do I get to the Holiday Inn? And the gentleman responds to him with his fingers, toi, and points to the Holiday Inn, which you could see from where we were sitting in the car.
Nice.
And my dad responds to him, two? No. Twice.
No, one.
3. That's 11. Yeah. So, been to Montreal. Didn't burn my wood in Montreal, though. I was too young. Yeah.
How can you say that it's winter smog and that they said that 38% of particle emissions coming from this source, coming from wood burn, and you're trying to keep warm? And you got people with wood burning stoves still. I know it sounds funny, but you do, especially in rural areas.
They're going to police this? Is there going to be a wood force? You know, we have the Space Force now. Are they going to have a wood force?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Is there some kind of maybe satellite detector that can determine if wood is being burned? You know? And I think there's going to be more violators than police people to enforce this. This is ridiculous.
Well, let me ask you something. You know, have you ever gotten a ticket in the rain?
A ticket? Like
in
a
the rain?
Ticket or like a moving violation?
Yeah, whatever. Speeding, whatever. Okay. Has it ever been raining when you got a ticket?
No.
Do you know why?
Because cops don't want to get out of their car.
They don't want to get friggin' wet. There's no cop going to want to start policing people in 40 below zero to make sure they're not burning wood.
Excuse me. French family? Are you in there burning wood?
Oui, oui. Et toi, oui, oui.
Yeah. Savoir-faire is everywhere.
C'est la vie de Garner Canville.
Don't burn wood.
That's French for that's life in the big city.
Oh, okay. I thought don't burn wood was French for Don't burn, don't burn wood.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can get a full sentence out.
Yeah. What are they going to outlaw next in Canada? Hockey? Come on. Friggin' idiots.
Yeah, apparently.
You're going to like this next one.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to go ahead and preface this next thing with, don't at me. I know I'm probably against the grain or whatever. Chances are, if you're listening or watching us here, which you are watching us live on Twitch, hopefully you're checking us out on YouTube or the website, bothmikes.com. But you're going to hate me. You're going to at me. Go ahead, at me at Twitter. Go ahead, send me an email. Mike_Sofka at bothmikes.com, because I disagree with this a lot. Let me put up a picture first.
Oh, yeah. Well, I could tell by the man boob that there's something going on there.
That is one giant man boob. This is a pregnant man. Now, we've had the situation where you have transgender women who are becoming men are mad because there's a lot of trauma. Trans parents, you like that? Trans parents, like it's see-through, but it's not. It's trans, second word, parents. Say medical systems isn't set up for their pregnancies. No shit.
Yeah. So, like, you got 1 in a million case of a woman becoming a man but getting pregnant, right? Is that what this is?
Yes.
It's a functioning or a preference man, but functioning born as a woman, having a baby.
Transtesticle.
Okay, and there's no facility for them to have a baby.
Yes, and the women that are in the same maternity wards don't want them there either.
Well, we've both been privy to dealing with pregnant women in hospitals, and it's not like everybody has, it's not like a dormitory.
That's what I don't get. I mean, listen, I'm okay. If you want to be trans, be trans. If you want to be gay, be gay. If you want to be straight, be straight. Be whatever you want to be. But don't start telling me that I have to do this or I have to do that because you are making these choices. I am not. Your choices should not impede my happiness. Your choices should not. Your choices aren't above my rights, my freedoms, my whatever I want. I'm going to respect your rights and your freedoms, but you're not going to infringe on mine because of yours.
Right. But how are they not set up? Is this a woman who became a man? Did she get her plumbing removed? Impossible. She wouldn't be able to have a baby. So she has female plumbing. Does she have an attachment down there? Does she have, how are they going to accommodate that?
Could she have done it herself?
Is she going to have a vaginal birth? If she is, then she has a vag and there's no problem. If she got rid of her vag and she now has a baby in there, she's going to have a C-section.
Well,
so where's the issue? What is missing from the hospitals for these people?
I don't know either. I think what it is much like a lot of people who are brainwashed into being told that they're being misguided, misled, and misunderstood and unrepresented. These big companies got to throw money at them. So maybe this is a movement to get people to throw money at them. But again, here's the deal. Mentally, I'm trying to wrap my head around this. If you're a transsexual person, you're a woman who's becoming a man, and you get pregnant and you want to have a baby. If you have a baby, doesn't that really make you a woman?
I agree. And
even if you have a beard, even if you're rocking a beard longer than mine.
And it's all about the plumbing. Do they want what are they looking for? What do they want?
Well, I think the hidden agenda is it's a push for some sort of money, for some sort of group, for some sort of political action committee, whatever. This guy they did this story with from today.com, when Caden Coleman, and I'm saying guy, I don't know if that's the proper term. Is it person, woman, that thing? I don't know. Okay, so I'm just going to call it by its name. Caden Coleman was pregnant with his now 10-month-old daughter. No one held the door for him, fussed over his growing belly, or made him feel, no kidding, because they thought you were just fat from drinking beer like most dudes that look like you. In a way, he feels as though he was missed out on the perks of pregnancy. In another, he's relieved no one knew the truth. As a transgender man, he felt safer that way. Quote, I didn't have to walk around in fear, worrying that people wanted to inflict violence on me. Oh, Christ, I see where this is going. This is the victimhood card.
Yeah.
No, I'm out.
Right there. World's smallest
I could give a shit if you're having a baby, dude, woman, whatever. You have the plumbing to have a baby. You chose to have a baby. I don't see what happened. I mean, was there some sort of... I've scanned through all this information. I've Googled it 6 different ways to see if there was an event, an activity, a disparaging comment, a dirty look, something. No.
Right. I don't give a crap if he's pregnant, she's pregnant, the chick down the street's pregnant. It doesn't matter. It's none of my damn business. Live your own damn life.
This guy goes on to say that he was offered an abortion at ridiculous amount of times. Oh, here we go. Yeah, the quote is, pregnancy literature is geared toward white, heterosexual, cisgender people. Do you know what a cisgender person is?
Cis? No.
CIS, cis. It's those who identify with the sex organs they're born with. So if they're born with male organs, they identify with themselves as being a male. That's us. If they were born with women's organs, they are identified by the term woman. They think they're women because they have women organs. I know it's silly, but that's what it is. That's a cis. If you believe you are what you were born with. Now, if you don't believe that, see, because you can't say the word normal. You can't say that people that are the sex they were born with are normal. That's politically incorrect. You have to use the word cisgender.
Wow.
This is where we're at.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is the direction we're moving in, huh?
You know what? I've always considered myself to be pretty funny. I've done open mic nights. I've done some stand-up stuff. I've done theatrical stuff. I'm not the best joke writer. I can write some jokes. But I can't make this shit up. I mean, this is funny shit. And in my wildest imagination, I couldn't make up this cisgender shit. There's no way. I'm not that smart.
Yeah, well, I guess everybody has to be included, you know? So they'll come up with literature and I don't know. I'm sure there's websites out there already for people of this type, normal. This type of normal, I guess. Is that a way of saying it?
You can't say normal. It's cis.
Yeah. Well, there's all kinds of normal.
Because
now,
you're inferring they're not normal.
Yeah.
That's Mike _Taylor at bothmikes.com.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, you just took all the air out of the room now. It's like, yeah, off work.
All right, speaking of bears, because gay hairy guys, they call them bears. I know, it's pretty funny.
Okay.
Speaking of bears, a California teen pushes a bear away on the top of his backyard fence. So a 17-year-old, this is according to theguardian.com, Haley Monorico, 17, sprang into action when she saw a large bear facing off with her family of dogs at her home near Los Angeles. She said she went outside, and this is on video. You can find this video out there. She went outside and she actually pushed the bear off the wall.
Probably dumber than she looks, huh? Not the sharpest tool in the shed.
I don't know. Maybe if it had if I was a dog owner, well, I am a dog owner, but not technically. But if I had dogs back there and they were facing off with a grizzly or a brown bear or whatever bear it was, if they're facing off with a bear or any other animal, I would try to shoo the animal away, but not by pushing it. Like, if it had one of my animals in its mouth, chowing down on it, okay, then I'm going to do what I have to do.
Next.
Yeah.
Next. Yeah. Now, yeah, and I'm one of those people that will, like, there's people who run into the fire and there's people who run away from the fire. I'm one of those people that run into the fire. And yeah, granted, I'm not as spry as I once was and have to evaluate situations a little different than I did 20, 30, 40 years ago. But I don't know. Even at my sharpest, I don't know if I would bow up on a freaking grizzly bear.
Oh my God, I'm looking at the video now, and the grizzly bear has its cub with her too.
Oh yeah, no. See ya, bye. Next.
The dogs are going nuts. The bear's swatting at the dogs, and she comes running up like a bull in a china shop and pushes the bear into the neighbor's yard.
How big is this bear?
It's pretty big. I would say it's about 300-400 pounds at least.
Like if it was to stand up, how tall?
I would say 5-6 feet maybe.
Yeah. Nope. Not knowing that they can run like 40 freaking miles an hour.
Yeah, I guess she saw the pawing of the bear at the dogs here. So yeah, check it out. That video's out there all over the place right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unreal. Stupid.
So then, of course, the city and the political people and the media and everybody, they have to put out sayings now. They have to put out things. Do not push bears and do not get close to bears. You don't want to get unlucky. I just happened to come out unscathed. Stop. I think most people know not to go touch a bear.
Yeah. Well, you need signs for everything. You need a handrail. You need a barrier. You need a guardrail.
Screw that. Legalize everything. Let God sort them out.
I've never been to Europe, but my wife has, with the military. And there's a place called, what's it called? I don't know. I forget the name of it. It's a rock. And it's jammed between two mountains or two other pieces of rock. It's like you climb this mountain and there's a big crevice in this mountain. And there's a rock that's just jammed in there. And like you can walk down, or climb down onto this rock that's jammed into this crevice. And there's no ropes, there's no guardrails, there's no protection of any sort, no bungee cords, nothing. If you want to go down on this rock, you drag your little hiney down and get on this rock. There's no way about it. You do it or you don't do it. There's no sign saying, "Oh, be careful." So yeah, that's Europe. Here, forget it. Everybody's litigious and they want to get their piece of the pie, and they'll sue anybody and everybody for every penny they have, me included.
That's correct.
John Morgan for the people. Make me famous.
Where is the pot daddy? I haven't heard from him in a while.
Yeah, well, he's probably lying low because he realized how much of an asshole he's been the past couple months.
He's at Arby's drive-thru right now.
In Maui.
He's poking his head through. Are you guys selling crack in there? What are you doing? God.
In my meat sweats.
Yes, his meat sweats. That's great. Hey, are you familiar with Fortnite?
I've heard the name. It's a game of some sort.
Yeah, a lot of the teens and tweens play that. Adults play it. I'm not a Fortnite person. I don't play any games like that at all. But now there's a new thing coming June 8th. Now, depending on when you're listening to this, we're recording this a few days before that. But here's the deal. Fortnite, you can get sucked up in the game by aliens. It's a new feature that's in the game. If you're in the game, you might get teleported across the map by a mysterious laser beam that appears out of the sky, according to TheVerge.com. And they have a way that it's going to take you to another world. So I guess this is a way Fortnite's going to expand, maybe, or it's going to get bigger.
I hate when a laser beam comes down and transports me to another planet. It's aggravating.
Well,
I'm over here trying to do a podcast, hanging out with my buddy, and a freaking laser beam comes along and transfers me to another planet? The hell?
I'm telling you, the systematic, slow piece by piece releases of UFO information and of alien information. There's going to be some sort of false flag thing. Just watch. They're trying to put all this attention over at the alien stuff over here, so you're not looking over there. It's the old sleight of hand. That's what they do. I don't believe it.
With all this alien talk, if like actual aliens get a drift of it, there could be trouble.
Well, you know what? You brought it up. We're going to have to do it now.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Buzz, look, an alien! Where?
Warning! Alien approaching! Warning! Biophysical experiments extremely dangerous for Earth people!
It's a pretty good robot. He's a little bit of an alien, too. But I think he's an alien. You could be an alien robot, right? Like, not all robots are domestic.
I computed the aliens. They are capable of sinister and dangerous acts.
You weird alien man!
And of course, you know what the alien update is. Mike, remind everybody what we're talking about here when we're talking about the alien update.
Uranus. No? It's our buddies Bezos, Musk, the My Face guy. Who's the My Face? Zuckerberg.
Yeah, all those guys from those companies. The guy with the thing from that place.
With the hair
Yeah.
next to the girl, right?
Yes.
Cool. All right, cool.
We talked
We're
about
on the
this
same
before
page.
about Amazon Sidewalk, about they're going to use everyone's Amazon devices to internetwork. So like if they're looking for someone, this comes into play with like those AirTags, those Apple AirTags, for instance.
Right.
That type of technology, they're going to use your devices without your knowledge, but they're going to have your consent because they're just going to update their TOS, their terms of service. You're automatically
Right,
going to scan right through it and say yes.
Click. Yep.
June 8th, this is going to... Now, supposedly, you can click somewhere, somehow. I'm not going to tell you if I find it. Maybe I'll post it on the Facebook page. You have to opt out. You have to
Right.
opt out ahead of time. Otherwise, you're in. And they're going to be sharing your devices, your wireless technology, your Wi-Fi, your Bluetooth, all this stuff. They're going to be able to utilize what you have. I'm okay with that in a way because that's the way we've kind of understood society to be. But on a personal note, I'm not okay with any of that stuff. I don't think they should be able to use my network.
Right. Now, why is it called Sidewalk?
I think it's this whole thing where they're gonna it's a new wireless mesh service that will share a small slice of your internet bandwidth with neighboring Sidewalk capable devices that don't have connectivity. Sidewalk will also help your Amazon devices to a sliver of bandwidth from other Sidewalk users when you don't have a connection. It's universal income for the internet.
So, essentially, it's free Wi-Fi off of somebody else's dime?
Pretty much.
That's what it sounds like.
Pretty much. The full list of the devices that can act as Sidewalk bridges: Ring Floodlight Cam, Ring Spotlight Cam, Ring Spotlight Cam Mount, Echo, Echo Dot for kids, Echo Dot with clock, Echo Plus, Echo Show, Echoes. I didn't know there were so many Echoes. There's
Right.
Echo Spot, Studio, Input, and Flex. Wow.
Well, Marketing 101, first, what is it? I forget. Continue.
So you got an F in that class.
Yeah. First satisfy quantity, then satisfy quality.
Okay. Well, we're doing that, I think. Our show's been getting better. We are everywhere. I think our show's getting better. Hang on, I'm jerking myself off. I'm going to hurt my hand here. Anyway, you have until June 8th is when this is going to start. Check on your Amazon stuff. Check the fine print. Don't go by what I'm telling you. Do what you want, but if you want to opt out, you got to opt out before June 8th.
Yeah.
Now-
it was probably in a service agreement that we signed months ago. Now we're talking about it, and people are going to start looking for this new service agreement, and it's already been signed like last month. You didn't even realize it.
This is part of the tweet that Elon Musk put out. It's got a woman and a guy on a couch separated by a few feet, arms folded, defensive positions, and the lines above in the bubble above their heads. From her standpoint, it's, quote, "I know I said it would be over between us if you ever quoted another Linkin Park song, but I found someone else." And he says, so in the end, it doesn't even matter. Supposedly, this is attached to a broken heart Bitcoin tweet that he put out, signaling that he was going to separate himself from Bitcoin. This is a guy who just bought like 10 billion of it, and now he's going to dump it, is what people are reading into it, causing Bitcoin to dive. Here's my question. How did we get to this point where one person's social media influence can dictate what happens in the stock market? How did we get here?
The reliability of it, you know. The same thing with Kardashian. You know, she tweets out something or something like that, and she makes the freaking earth move. How? Why? I have no idea.
She's famous for being famous. That's what she's famous for.
Right. Famous because her dad actually had a name.
Well, I give them credit. They didn't stop her and her sisters and her friends. They kept trying to get into these LA clubs. They kept dressing a little bit more provocatively, getting plastic surgeries done, getting photos snapped, and then injecting themselves into the public image. And it was a perfect timing with social media getting ready to take off. They were right place, right time. They were the guys selling picks and axes in San Francisco in 1849. That's who they were.
Right. Yep. And it's unbelievable that one person can have any influence at all, let alone the amount that they have.
It goes. I guess if you can read between the lines and stay ahead of those trends, you'll do well. But I think most people are going to be in a bad situation because a lot of them probably bought Bitcoin when it was like at $50,000 because Elon Musk just bought 5 billion of it. This must be the move to make. Now he's saying he's going to dump it. It's down to 33.
Well, the thing is by the time regular people like you and me hear about things, usually it's too late. You know, I heard about Bitcoin. God, a guy I worked with, he had it when it was like $1,800.
Mm-hmm.
My wife was at a conference years ago, and people and some sort of computer people were giving away one Bitcoin as like a parting gift or like a tchotchke. They were giving away a Bitcoin as a tchotchke, you know, when it was worth nothing. Now look at it. But, you know, by the time a regular person like you and me hear about it, it's usually the boat sailed. So, you know, would I have bought it at $1,800? Knowing what I know now? Yeah. But, you know, if someone came up and said, hey, you want a Bitcoin? It's $1,800. Write me a check. Go fuck yourself. You know?
Exactly.
And now this dog coin is like 50 cents, and you're like, well, you know, should I get on the bandwagon with this one? You know,
buy low, sell high. I don't know.
The thing is, you buy it for $1,000. You buy all this Bitcoin, or this dog coin, you throw $1,000 at it. You know, and then what? It's going to double. You got 2,000.
Here's my thing with that. Here's my thing with that. You got to understand it's like gambling. You got to understand it's like going to the dog track before all the snowflakes got that outlawed here. Or going to highlight. Or going to betting on a football game. Here's $100 on this game. Do you know what? In my mind, I've already lost the money. I've already paid. If I'm going to Vegas, I'm going to take out a certain amount of money. I'm going to leave the credit cards in the room, in the safe. And I'm going to tell my wife, just like that guy did in Vegas when I was at Caesar's Palace and the elevator door opened and this guy had this chick up against the side of the elevator. Her feet were off the ground. He was holding her up by her throat and he's saying, give me the fucking money I told you not to give me. And then they both looked at me and the doors closed. I didn't know what to fucking do.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you.
You got to know that that's the price of doing business. You may lose this money.
Yeah, exactly.
I won't hear you bitching if you make $1,000 on it.
Right.
You got. Somebody's got to lose. If you're gonna win, somebody else has to lose.
Yep. And the thing is, if I got into it for $1,000, I wouldn't look to make $1,000. You know, if I'm gonna go heavy and you know, cash in, like my freaking Disney stock when I used to work there. when it was $30 a share, and now it's $130 a share, and I sold it when it was $25 a share.
Well, Disney does a lot of controlling. They want their stock to be at a certain rate, and they do that because once it gets to like 150 or so, they do a split.
Yeah.
And if you're in by a certain date,
They haven't done it in decades.
they're gonna.
I think like 99 was the last time they did a split.
They'll do it again.
Yeah.
They'll do it
And
again.
that's when I started buying. When I was working there at the Contemporary, I had the stock purchase,
Mm-hmm.
and it was running $25 to $30 a share for a decade. And I'm like, fuck this! I sold it, and now it's up over 130. Or
Good job.
last I checked. Yeah.
I know.
my turn to pat myself on the back.
No, I had some premium stocks back in the day. I had to unload them, and this was when you used to have to go to the stockbroker's office. I mean, I'm talking the 90s where you had to go, it's probably 1994 or something, and I'm selling blue chip stocks, portfolio stuff that people my age would love to have. I had Merck, I had Disney, I had all this stuff that tech stuff started to become bigger. I was into that, and I had a divorce situation, all that. I had to get rid of it. I had to liquidate everything. That was what I was told to do. So, I'm at the office of the stock company. I forget which one it was. Edward Jones or something like that. I'm sitting in the office, and the guy's looking at me. He goes, "Why are you selling this?" I'm like, "Because I have to." He's like, "Hang on to it. Look, you're in a good position." I'm like, "Just cash it out, please. Shut up.
Right? Yeah.
Give me the ticket or give me the lecture, but don't give me both."
Right?
Christ. So Walmart's in the news.
Again, still. Do you even go there?
No, I haven't been to Walmart in years. Well, check that. Hold on, stop. They had a deal online where you could buy these big screen TVs for like a ridiculous price around Christmas.
Wow. Okay.
And I picked a handful of them up to just put them around the house, upgrade to TVs. And when you did that online, you didn't go into the store. You pulled around the back. There was like a one light. It was like a guy in a hoodie with shady thing going, "Hey man, you hear me?" They have to hand imitate. It was like I was buying crack behind Walmart. And then they had them like in a shipping container, like a giant container. But I swear there was one street light, one dude with a hoodie. I didn't know whether he was gonna rob me or give me my TV.
Wow.
So yeah, that was the only time in years I've been to Walmart.
I avoid it like the plague, but there's one right across the street from the little gymnasium the boys go to, the little jamboree tumble place.
Mm-hmm.
And if we end up there like once every other week, it's way too much.
Well, the day I realized I wouldn't do any grocery shopping there was the day that I was at Walmart back in the day when these first super centers first started opening up, and they were adding food and they were doing massive food. It was late at night, and all the return buggies were up at the customer service desk. They probably had 15 of them full of items and stock and product.
Right.
Ice cream, milk, all this crap was sitting in the carts when I got there, and it was still there when I left. So I'm thinking maybe they're just putting that one back on the shelf. I obviously they don't know how to handle food.
Yeah. No. Exactly. They're not in the grocery business, but apparently they are.
I don't go to Home Depot to get a ham on rye or whatever. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yep.
Anyway,
stay within your expertise.
The reason why I brought Walmart up is they're joining another major retailer, Target. They're not joining companies. They're closing on Thanksgiving Day. They're saying it's what they call a thank you to their employees for working during the COVID-19. That's bullshit right there.
All right. I've worked more than my share of retail. I've worked at Target as a manager. I've worked at supermarkets in New York and New Jersey. All right. Didn't they used to all be closed on Thanksgiving?
I think so.
Yeah. All right. I'll tell you a little story. I used to be a union employee, Local 1262 in New Jersey and New York. Used to work for a company called Pathmark. Pathmark was bought by A&P, also known as the Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company, which is out of business, except for the coffee. The coffee they sold off to another company, but the whole damn place is out of business. All right.
It's because you left.
Probably, yeah. The only person that knew how to freaking run a thing. In the mid '90s, I get a letter in the mail from Pathmark saying, "We love you. You are a great employee, and to show how much we love you and your family, we will be staying closed this Thanksgiving like we always have, but our competitor, ShopRite, is going to be open. We feel that you should spend time with your family on this holiday. Blah, 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 blah. Fuck you." The next year, Pathmark, the company I worked for that said I should spend time on Thanksgiving with my family, was also open. Yeah. So, yeah.
And they're going to spin it. They're going to go, "Hey, I know you guys really needed that money for the holidays, so we're going to do you a favor and open on Thanksgiving." I mean,
Yeah.
It's all about the spin.
No, it's to stay competitive. It's always to stay competitive. You got to stay competitive.
Stop.
Yeah, and you make people cut coupons out of a damn newspaper, whatever. Insult.
Well, Walmart's also in the news for another reason. Walmart's giving 740,000 employees a free Samsung smartphone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they can contact them?
So they can
easier?
text instead of work. I don't know.
Hey, I know it's your day off and everything, but hey, you think you could swing by for a couple hours and help us unload TVs out of the box in the back?
Here's
We
what
need
it
some
is.
Layaway.
Here's
We
what
need
it
someone to
is.
work the layaway counter.
This is according to CBSNews.com. Walmart will give 740,000 employees free Samsung smartphones by the end of the year so they can use a new app to manage schedules, the company announced Thursday. Their phone,
I'm a prophet of God. Did I just guess that one?
the Samsung Galaxy X Cover Pro, can also be used for personal use, and the company will provide free cases and protection plans. The phone's retail price is currently $499.
It's going to be that Walmart blue and have that yellow star on the back.
I guess the argument is I can't check my email and I can't use the app because I don't have the money to buy a phone.
Yeah, well, whatever. Now, here's the deal. How many people get fired from Walmart a day?
Yeah, right. I
how
assume
many-
a handful.
How many phones are you throwing away? Does this phone no longer work after you're fired?
I'm
You know,
thinking about
that-
putting in an application just to get a phone. $500. Get
you
my
wake up in the
phone.
morning,
Stop
you wake up
showing
in the
up.
morning, you go to check your email, your MyFace, and it doesn't work. Does that mean you're fired? Is that how you find out? Now here's the thing, right? So you're
You
throwing
have
away
been removed from the network.
So you're throwing away, hundreds, if not thousands of phones a day for people leaving the company. And then you have to purchase thousands a day because you're hiring thousands of people a
Do
day?
you want me to tell you what I'm reading into this?
They just want control.
Samsung had a backlog of phones before the pandemic. The pandemic
that are-
comes, it
That are
halts
lighting on
all phone
fire or blowing
purchasing.
up on airplanes.
Yeah, so I think they cut a backdoor deal with Walmart for these phones. Everybody looks like a genius. It's just like you said, oh, we're going to close for you, employee, and the next year they will open. Anything that they can spin a certain way.
Yeah. Well, and also, I'm sure Samsung sold them a song and dance. Hey, look what we could do for you as a benefit. You could show this as a benefit to your employees, and your employees will appreciate it. But here's what you can, here's how you can use this to your advantage.
Guess what they're going to call the app?
You're screwed. Walmart.com.
WhoGivesAShift.com. No.
Who gives a shit? Or giveashift.com. Oh my God. Missed opportunity.
I know. I had Who Gives a Shit, Who Gives a Shift, and I had Who Takes a Shift. I thought that was great. This way you could get in there either way, whether you wanted to give up a shift or get rid of a shift.
Yeah. No, dude. And when I worked for Houlihan's, when I first moved to Texas, and they had that exact system, I was like, you got to be kidding me. You got it. You're a great idea, man. You come up with them.
Well,
Implementation part that you're kind of stuck with.
Yeah. It's trust me, it runs in my family. I know the feeling. I know. Hey, great job. We're going to save $14 million this year. Here's a $25 gift card to Whataburger.
Right.
Okay, thank you. Hey, something you're going to be interested in, something I'm sure you're interested in.
Hey,
the cruise
you think
ships.
I didn't know about it already, and I think you have an ulterior motive for using this particular company. Go ahead.
No, it's all yours. I'm just saying the Mardi Gras, Carnival Mardi Gras has arrived at Port Canaveral.
A lot of activity at the port today. Actually, my travel agent was down there in person, and he got to get on the boat, meet the captain, meet the cruise director, and all that. This particular ship, which I'm not allowed on, is incredible.
Do we want to go into that story or no?
Well, yeah, I'll cover it in a second here.
Okay.
But it actually has a roller coaster in the aft deck up top. It's got a roller coaster, and it's got all the buzzers and whistles. It's a completely new design for Carnival Corporation. It still has that whale tail on the back, though. But yeah, the paint job is nice. My understanding, it holds about 5,000 people. I'm not sure the tonnage on it. Do you have the tonnage?
No.
No, I'd say it's probably 150,000 tons.
Wait.
But,
I have something. I know it's 1,130 feet long with 21 decks, 2,641 guest staterooms, normal occupancy 5,282 guests, and a crew of 1,745.
I was right on the guests.
Yeah.
It's almost as long as the largest cruise ship in the world. It's just about 50 feet short, it looks like. Yeah, the gross tonnage is what I'd be interested in knowing if it was there.
All right, I'll find that out while you tell the story.
The largest gross tonnage ship in the world is like 228,000 gross tons, and that's pretty gigantic. It's like 218 feet wide, 1,200 feet long.
The Mardi Gras is 181,808 gross tons.
That's pretty much like right in second place. That's a big boat. All right. As you all know, including you, I'm a Motley Crue fan. Imagine that. And in 2008, somebody came along and said it'd be a great idea to do something called a Motley Cruise. And it was a travel agency out of Miami. They put together this cruise on the Carnival Imagination, one of those cruise ships, and it's like an older 90s cruise ships, not many balconies at all, holds probably 2,500 people, maybe 3,000 people. And they had the bands Ever After, which is Michael Grant, who also played with LA Guns. His band, a band called Lynam, which is David Lynam, a guy named Mark, and Jacob Burton, who is the singer for Mick Mars and the singer for Adler, which is Steven Adler, drummer for Guns N' Roses, his band. But Jacob is a pretty cool guy, real skinny, black hair, pasty white guy, but great voice. All right, and then the known bands that you and I would know right off the bat: Skid Row, Slaughter, Rat with Stephen Pearcy, and Vince Neil, just Vince Neil. So the Motley Cruise is just Vince Neil. Cruise went out of Miami. We went to Cozumel and maybe someplace else. I don't know. I don't know, 3 or 4 nights. All right. So they put together this whole thing, and each band, I think, played once, and it wasn't a full buyout of the boat. So it was like regular people mixed in with Motley Cruise people. So you're hanging out.
It's called cisgender, not normal.
Exactly.
Cis.
So you're hanging out on the pool deck on the smoking side with the guys with Skid Row and Rat, but on the other side they're playing shuffleboard and doing the wobble.
Nice.
So I don't remember where the first stop was. I don't even know if there was a first stop, but Cozumel is where it all happened, and it was the third night of the cruise, and they bought out Margaritaville. and you were able to have free, domestic beer or simple beers, basic beers, and margaritas. And the place was bought out, and it was just Motley Crue's people. And Vince played a little bit. They had a band out back, right on the water, all that fun stuff. And the girl I was with and me sat at the table with some other friends, and I went over to the bar, being 6'3", and was able to reach over everybody and just pick up free drinks as need be. A lot of drinks. And
Nice.
like, we walk out of this place, like, we have 15 minutes to get back to the boat, and like 200 people pile out of this place and start walking to the boat through a Carnival parade. So like, it was January or something, and we get back to the boat and we immediately go upstairs to a concert, and I think it's Lynam or Ever After. It's one of the smaller bands that were playing, and drunk off our asses. And I was probably 15 feet back from the stage. I had my girlfriend in front of me. We kind of just hanging out, rocking, boom, boom, boom. And all of a sudden, some guy starts pushing. Like he needs to push in this tiny little venue. And the girl I'm with, she's like, crap, what are you doing? He goes, hey, I'm at a concert, man. People push at concerts. Got to get to the front. I go, yeah, really? And I immediately cock my head forward, flip my head back, and smash this guy with the back of my head and smash his nose into his face. Not once.
The reverse headbutt.
Not twice. But I felt the need to do it 3 times.
Nice.
Yeah. And the guy stopped. I'm like, okay, no problem. And we can continue on, and all of a sudden I get that tap on the shoulder, and the 2 fingers. Come here. And it was security for the bands. It wasn't ship security. It was the event security. And he pulls me to the side. He's like, hey, what happened? And I'm like, the guy was pushing, so I pushed back. I didn't say I pushed back with the back of my head. So then all of a sudden the ship security comes over, and it's a big involved thing, blah, blah, blah. What's your name? What's your C-Pass card? What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. You need to go back to your room. So I go back to my room, and not knowing, this was probably my 3rd or 4th cruise, so I wasn't into the 20s like I am now. And so it comes out that, I guess, if there was another stop between the end of the cruise and now, or at the time of that incident, I would have been dropped off in who knows where. If the next stop was, Grand Cayman, they would have dropped me off at Grand Cayman because of this incident.
Wow.
Nothing happened to this other guy, but I had to stay in my room, and the next day, oh God, I was so hungover and just like really depressed and kind of worried about what possibly could happen. We get back to Miami, we'll see if this charge is going to be brought up, blah 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 blah, and all this. And I remember when they took me out of the venue, the guy, like, I briefly saw him with an ice pack on his nose. So funny nonetheless. The guy got what he deserved because he was pushing. I bet you he never pushed at another concert to this day. With his smashed nose. But I'm not allowed on a Carnival cruise ever again.
Wow.
In my entire life. I am banned from Carnival Cruise Lines.
Wow.
So I can go on Holland America, Princess,
I thought you were going to tell me, like, the next morning you were like, hey, it's the dude from Margaritaville giving out those drinks.
Well, blame him. It's not my fault.
Jeez.
Yeah, no. But, yeah. Because of that incident, I'm not allowed on Carnival ever again.
Wow.
Oh, well, their loss. There's better cruise lines out there.
Wow. Well, quickly shifting gears, do you know what that is?
A chicken nugget?
It is a chicken nugget. For you folks that are listening to the podcast only, you can check out the video, of course, on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook page, on our Twitter feed. This is a chicken nugget. Do you know what makes this chicken nugget special?
I actually said chicken nugget because it looks nothing like a chicken nugget, and I thought it would be a funny answer.
It went for $100,000 on eBay due to its resemblance to a character from the mystery video game Among Us. The person said he figured it would get somewhere around $50, but nothing like this. The seller, whose account name on eBay is Polizna, told CNET of the wallet walloping nosh, which was bought for a whopping $99,997 when bidding ceased and closed early Friday morning.
Okay, so that Friday morning is like this morning or last Friday?
This morning.
All right. Now that's the highest bid.
No, it's done. It's closed. That was the auction's
that's
up.
Fine. That's fine. It's the highest bid. Did the guy collect the money?
Of course, I did no show prep, so I didn't read the article. I'm just glancing at the headlines.
That would be where the amazing thing would be, is if someone actually paid. You know, you can go on eBay and you can bid all day long, but if you don't pay, you know, it's all for nothing. So,
yeah, that's what the guy says here. He thinks the final bidder will actually go through with the purchase, as there are lots of people who bid on things like this for the memes.
Yeah. So, well, you know, regardless, whoever that person is that has that account, she probably could sell anything, and she'll have traffic coming to her eBay account now.
All right, I've got an idea. Maybe you want to do this with me. I'm going to take some Hellman's mayonnaise jar. I'm going to clean it out, you know, after I'm done with it. I'm going to wash it. It's going to all be nice and good. I'm going to get a picture of a supermodel, some hot supermodel. I'm going to Google the photo. It's not even going to be anybody I know, okay? I'm going to Photoshop this jar into her hand, and I'm going to sell it as her fart in a jar. I'll fart in a jar.
Why did I know that's where you were going?
I'll fart in the jar, and then some dude's going to pay for this, thinking it's a supermodel's fart. They're going to pay me to smell my fart. What do you think? Are you in?
I'm in. I'm in. Yep. You get a grilled cheese that looks like Jesus, I'll fart on that too.
All right, today as we are recording this, it's National Doughnut Day.
Yeah.
It was National Hamburger Day last time, and now it's National Doughnut Day. There's some places you can get free donuts. Check out where you get donuts to see if they're actually free or if they're making you buy something.
Yeah, only 4 hours left. The day's almost over. What is your go-to donut place?
I try not to anymore, but there's a place in Lake County that I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's like a mom and pop place, and they make the best donuts. You've probably seen them on my Facebook feed in the past with exotic Oreo cookies crumbled on them, M&Ms, pretzels, bacon. I mean, just all sorts of weird donuts.
It's not that German bakery in Valhalla, or
No.
Okay.
And that's Yalaha, not Valhalla.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the fancy specialty donuts that you just spoke of, that like Krusty Kreme is coming out with. They're coming out with like an Oreo one and all these supreme donuts. And to me, it's Dunkin' Donuts or nothing, really. Dunkin' Donuts, fabulous, wonderful, perfect. First time I ever had Krispy Kreme is when we worked for the Lame Tourist Cafe, and they used to have those meetings at the movie theater. And I remember going in there, going, "Oh, look, breakfast!" And it was Krispy Kreme donuts. And if you ever took like a big vat of Crisco lard and just scooped your hand into it and then bit into it, that's exactly what a Krispy Kreme tastes like to me. They are. I'll eat them just because it's there, and you put food in front of me, I have a tendency to eat it, and they're just, they're wretched. Whoever invented that place needs to be chased with a stick.
It's funny to hear you say that story about the lard. Do you remember when you were a little kid, your mom used to have that big blue canister of Crisco?
Yeah,
okay.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, I took that big blue canister of Crisco out one time, and I took the lid off it, and I was pretending like I was eating it. And my sister, who's about a year younger than me, goes, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm eating this icing before Mom puts it on the cake." And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's good." She's like, "I want some." I'm like, "No, you can't have none." So I finally let her have a few handfuls, and she figured it out pretty quickly what the hell happened there. But yeah, that was flashback.
I used to tell my sister that the crushed red pepper was candy topping, like sprinkles for your ice cream. Hot salsa, it's tomato sauce, all that stuff. My sister was very gullible when it came to things like that.
So I think Dunkin' Donuts, that's a regional thing though, right? Don't you think that Dunkin' Donuts is more East Coast and maybe Krispy
They
Kreme
were
is more
popping
left
up
coast
in
or
Texas when, like over the past 5 years, they started popping up in Texas. It was one probably a mile from the house, and was awesome. Yeah, I was more than glad to see it come. But yeah, Krispy Kreme, like right now they're doing the free donut for because you got your vaccination. You got a vaccination
what?
card.
Yeah,
that
don't
gives
get
you
me
a free
started
donut.
on them having to bribe people to get vaccines. That's ridiculous. What does
yeah.
that tell you?
Well, yeah, gimmick. But yeah, like Brenda will go and buy the boys donuts because it's next to the freaking Wal Mart that's by the boys gym, and yeah, so like they had donut last night after gym, and they had a donut this morning. They split, and it tastes like Crisco. Well, yeah, Dunkin' Donuts is right by the house. That's what counts.
Well, check it out. We're winding down here. We got about 3 minutes left here. So before we go, take a minute, Mike, to remind everybody of the rules. These are rules we're
the
establishing
rules.
on the show.
Everything is fake. People are stupid. Don't trust anything. Don't tell anyone anything they don't need to know. As in Daryl Hall once said, some things are better left unsaid. And number 5, measure twice, cut once. Brought to you by bothmics.com.
I like the rules. Hopefully you can follow along with the rules with us as we continue to grow. If you have any suggestions for our rules, please send them to us on Twitter. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. You'll find us. We're on YouTube.
Smoke signals. Yep.
We're just about everywhere you can find stuff. You'll find us. And of course, I do want to give a shout out and a plug for a few special people. Gino Losi, if you're looking to go fishing in Florida, dude put up on his Facebook page yesterday, him and his 2 clients in his boat caught 57 fish by noontime.
What?
This is bass fish. These are big fish. I'm telling you. Go check out this guy,
was Dynamite
GinoLosi.com.
Was Dynamite involved?
GINOLOSI. I've been fishing with the guy. There's more about him on our website and our Facebook pages, What's Hot in Florida. Also, check out my friends at the Melon Patch Theater, in Leesburg. They're doing some wild and crazy things there. My friend Dustin Levine is doing wonderful things there. So go check out the Melon Patch Theater in Leesburg. And as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you wherever you're finding us. And if you can't find us somewhere, just let me know and I'll take care of it.
Right. Like that new one.
The new one.
The new one. I texted you yesterday on it.
What new one?
The new one. The thing with the stuff.
The guy at that place?
Yeah, next to the chick. I told you about it.
Jesus. Thank God this train wreck is almost over here. This is uncontrollable right now. All right, I'm ready to get out of here. You?
Next.
All right, we'll see you next time, folks.
Ciao, folks.